See, that's a damn shame. That's a goddamn shame that I had to do it this way. I don't like shenanigans. I really don't. So my apologies, because the other two times I just set it up, it wouldn't work for me. It just wouldn't work for me. But now we on point. Now, as the title said, and as all the shenanigans, you know, prior to this, is it okay for the black community to break my heart? Zeus, thanks for the third time. This time it ain't gonna be no more mess ups. I can see this clear and it's working just fine. You know, I don't know what the hell was going on because it kept freezing on my computer. The shit just basically shut down. Now, first and foremost, thank y'all for coming. This was aggravating. The second part, I'm gonna get right into the topic. Is it okay for the black community to break my heart? You know, part two. The reason I ask that is this: we have a lot of things that happen within the community that we just tell each other to get over, and because we tell each other to get over these things, it seems that we make it okay to hurt each other or do each other in. My camera got me looking sideways. Okay, hold up. My camera got me looking sideways. Is that better? Is that better? So basically, all right. So we back in business. Mortimer, we're back. So basically, what winds up happening is now we stuck in this way where everything is not cool. You know, and I have a few things to say about it in this aspect. First and foremost, religion. We taught to forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive. But we're not taught to atone. So is it okay to break folks' hearts by doing things to them and then asking them for forgiveness? Now, there's things that, of course, we can put on racism in America and how America is set up. But I don't want to talk about those things in this particular. I want to talk about how things we do towards each other. Thanks, Driver 580. Yeah, I had to switch it up now because I think that's more important. Because when in the religious aspects, we keep telling each other that God gonna take care of it, and I think we are doing ourselves a disservice by telling each other at young ages what God is gonna do, because we're taking the responsibility of each other for our own actions towards each other. You know, we want people to go and pray on stuff. Why we gotta pray for everything? Why? Why can't you just do what you're supposed to do? Can you do right by a person? Is that so difficult? Is that so hard to ask? And I don't think so. I don't think it's that difficult to ask. But is it okay? You know, and I've seen people getting things stolen from them. I've things stolen from me. Oh, just go to God. And it's people in my own community. Like, why am I gonna go to God if somebody stole something from me? Why can't I just go get my stuff back? Well, that's wrong. No, actually, that's not wrong. It's right if you do me a wrong, that I go get my stuff back. That's right. That's not wrong. And some people try to act a little sideways about that, but I think religious has done us a great disservice with saying it's okay to treat each other bad, and at the same time, you want to you want forgiveness. I'm not buying that. I'm just I just can't see it. Now, the reason I'm making this uh, thing the way I'm making it, because I'm gonna keep it short, but I'm about to be a little bit more stern. The second thing is it okay for us to treat each other the way we do? You know, every relationship, friendship, does not have to have a bunch of pain, strife, and conflict involved in it. And this idea that I got to put you through something to test you. People don't like that. Like if I didn't do anything to you, my audio went out. How the hell? Are you serious? Press one if you can hear me. How the hell my audio go out? Like what kind of shit is this? Okay. All right, Ice Dream. You know, I think we have a problem when it comes to how we treat each other. Because what winds up happening is this. You know, people when we treat each other good, that's marginalized. People don't appreciate when we treat each other good. You do something nice for a person, they'll say that's how it's supposed to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do something nice back. And then that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to pay it forward. But if you treat someone bad, that word of mouth can spread real fast. Oh, I got did dirty by this person. They did this, and this. And now you can be known as a person who does people dirty, but for some odd reason, people like kicking it with you. And that's okay. And you can be the life of the party. But the person that's treating people right, people don't necessarily like kicking it with them. They're not at necessarily the life of the party. So, Torian, what's going on, man? Technical difficulties, man. But is it okay? Is it okay that when you treat people good, they don't treat you good in return? Or when you treat people bad, they want to be your friend? For some people, that breaks people's heart. They're like, damn, dog. So this is what I got to be just to get a little respect, a little love, just a little fairness. I got to dog you out. That's what I got to do just to be, just to be on the level. Okay. All right. And for some people that breaks their heart, it's like, damn, man, I don't want to be around you if I got to treat you like this just to befriend you. That's a problem. Now, where I'm about to, the next thing about passing the treatment is the stereotypes. We don't like getting stereotyped from the world. Yeah, I feel you, Ice Dream. Tony Davis was popping. We don't like getting stereotyped by the world and other people. But at the same time, we can stereotype each other, even knowing that Jeremiah, what's going on? Even knowing that we know the nuances that lets us know if our stereotype is good or bad. So if somebody's dressed like a certain way or carry themselves a certain way, we actually know. Man, you gotta be kidding me, fam. You know what? I tried. I had it on the computer, and it didn't work. My computer just shut down. So that's why I'm on this one. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna just cut off my computer and see if that cuts off that live. Now, basically, what winds up happening is, at the end of the day, we're in a situation where you stereotype a brother because you see him coming from afar or you see him up close, and then you're like, whatever. Why? I just cut it off. I just cut my computer off. So they shouldn't be over there anymore. I don't even know what the hell is going on with that because I went live twice, and it started out fine and then it just froze. So whoever comes in, I'm gonna apologize to them when they come in here. Thanks, Brother Moses. Hopefully, they realize it's not running because I cut that shit off. The constant complaints video. But here's the thing. What are we doing as far as the treatment of one another. I don't think we're doing right by each other when we stereotype each other. I think, as a matter of fact, we do each other a disservice because ultimately, some of us walk away from each other because of this. Like, some of us say, okay, so this is how you're gonna treat me. You're gonna treat me like this stereotype, just like everybody else would. You're not gonna get to know me. So now I gotta move on. And this kills the unity, in my opinion. It really kills the unity because what winds up happening is you got brothers who you probably need, or brothers who would help or would do positive things, but you broke their heart. Like, man, you treated me like I'm less than, and for you that's okay, you know. But it's not okay for everybody else. It's just not, you know. Now I'm gonna get into some things to make this a little bit more personal or personable. Um, I was working a job and I had a belt. I had some pants on, some jeans, and a belt. And this older black woman, walked behind me one day. Sir, now I wasn't sagging. I just had some jeans on. What's going on, lovely lady? Jeans on at work. But the lady was like, I'm tired of sagging and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay. And I'm working. This older black woman walks up behind me and grabs my jeans and said, "You need to pull your pants up." And then she's jerking my jeans up and down. And the guy that was one of the supervisors saw me about to turn around and sock the shit out this old lady. And then he was like, and then as she's doing this, she's like, "Wait, you got a belt on? And your jeans ain't sagging." I'm just looking. And I turn around, I'm like, my mind said, and then what's popping? My mind said, yo, you an old raggedy bitch. But it was that stereotype. You know, I remember um, why I'm saying some of these things so people could get them. Tamika, what's going on? Yeah, I feel you. Chris, no. But it's part of the ideology. Like sometimes people don't realize things happen and they drive people away. Like, same thing when I was talking about the treatment, right? I remember a long time ago running track, and they were hazing. I bought some new spikes, and before the track meet, um, what's going on, Miles? Before the track meet, the older guys on the what's going on, Brown Sugar? Before the track meet, we went to the night before, 2 nights before, whatever. We went to sleep. Somebody broke in my room, stole my spikes, stole my track gear, threw it in a river on the campus. Like there's a little ravine on Southern's campus. This was years ago. And I was like, the fuck? So I tell the coach, and the coach like, oh yeah, whatever. So we get all the way to the track meet, and I tell it, and we get and it's time to race. And I'm like, Coach, I still got no spikes. I told you they threw the stuff away. They threw all that stuff away, and he went off. No, I was in college, girl. So I went off. So the coach went off on me. And I'm just looking at him like, so somebody breaks in my room, steals my stuff, throw it in a river. I tell you it's stolen. And you cussing me out about this? So at the end of the day, I borrowed somebody else's spikes. And then I go run a race, not really feeling that hot about it. Go to pick my clothes up from the start, like from the grass by the starting line. They stole my uniform, my wallet, And in my wallet, I had a picture of my grandmother who was dead. That was like the last picture of her. And I was like, and at that point, I said, all right, somebody about to get hurt. So I tell the coach, I said, yo, they did it again. JJ, what's going on? Garcelle, what's popping? And at that point, the coach was like, yeah, whatever. So I'm on one of the vans going back to the campus, and I tell the people in the van, I said, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. One of y'all, I'm going to beat the shit out of y'all. I'm going to beat one of y'all to death. Because first you broke in my room and stole my spikes for whatever stupid ass reason. Then y'all stole my uniform. And I know y'all got it because I ain't going to get charged for it. But y'all stole my wallet and my grandma's picture. So I'm going to tell you, I bet you, since y'all so hard, y'all not gonna tell me who did what, cause I'm gonna beat the fuck out y'all. And all of a sudden, and then after that, I transferred schools after that, cause I felt like I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Like, I ain't got shit to say to you. Now, ironically, yeah, ironically, the next year I left, I was at another college. One of the guys was one of the guys bullied another guy and broke his orbital bone on the ride to another track meet. And that's when the coach was like, oh, this is really going on. And I was gone. So I'm looking at people like, this is why some of us don't get along, because y'all like the fuckery, right? And I'm telling stories so y'all understand where I'm coming from. So the treatment is like, this is what it takes. Now, some of those people, I haven't seen those people in years. I know one of them. One of them, me and her, are real good friends. But the rest of them, I ain't seen them in over a decade. Probably 2 decades, really. Yeah, it's been like 20 years. But that treatment will make you go, I don't want to fuck with you. Now, the reason I talk about that is the next topic. So I'm going to use stories because sometimes we kill each other's opportunities. And that can break your heart. Because I was thinking about this with all these people getting upset about things. Like even K. Michelle acting all toxic and shit. Sometimes people in the community do shit that fuck people over. So I remember there was a time when I was in high school. I played a lot of sports. What's going on, Roastmaster? And I had people, like the school had people coming to see players. But for some odd reason, our football coach told other schools not to fuck with me in particular. What's going on, Kenyon Peterson? Now I wasn't a gangster. I was a straight laced kid or whatever. But for some odd reason, he had an issue with me. It's like, okay. So I come to find this out later. So Louisville will come to the school. Don't fuck with me. We went to Michigan that summer. Like, damn, you know, not I got an offer from Penn. Like, yo, the coach wouldn't say shit. All my friends going to Illinois and North Illinois and Southern Illinois, and I'm not getting an offer nowhere. And I'm like, this is kind of interesting. What's going on, 225? Miss C. Franks, I'm sorry, Kenya, what's pop? Kenya, what's going on? So I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on? So as my senior year ends, no offers. That's how I wound up going down south to college. I come back for Christmas break, and one of the cats says, "Look, man, what happened was we saw how the head coach treated you, so we told our parents they got him fired because they didn't want to get treated the same way." So we went from a team that was horrible. We had a ranked team in the state to wind up being trash. And what's going on, Jonathan? What's popping? To wind up being trash to the team having all Americans and being in the playoffs the very next year, and people having scholarships, and a few years later, people on their way to the NFL. And I'm like, damn. That's what you say. That's what you say, KD. You know I don't. I I've heard the stories of what old boy was saying behind my back when he was alive. So for you, you got love for him. For me, not so much. You know. Uh, and some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but you said you didn't like. I ain't gonna say R.I.P. and say I ain't like him. But it's opportunities. I remember getting in college and having and working with music, and I got some good opportunities in life. Like I can't say this. My older cousin hooked me up with a shot to rap for Suave House and Tony Draper. I didn't do so well on that. But then he wound up hooking me up years later with No ID. Killed that. But No ID was going through some things. So literally, I did get opportunities that people helped me out. That one I didn't do so well, one I did. But it was a great life experience. You know, whoa, wow, Eugene. Okay, okay, exactly. You know, but sometimes people break your heart. The community can break your heart because they'll steal your opportunities from you, and you're like, I don't like it no more. I don't like it no more. You know, and I'm a proponent. What's going on AN1 where some of us don't realize that what winds up happening is, you know, I'm going live, fam. You know, some of us don't want to admit that, we have this dichotomy in the community where you got people who say, okay, this person is going to be all right no matter what. So you're not going to help that person. And you're not going to do right by that person. You're just going to leave them hanging. And then you got people who you feel are talented and you're going to do things for. They making mistakes, but, if we just keep it popping, Blacksmith, my bad, Mike Ely, what's going on? If we could just help them, we could I see something in them, and that's a problem because it's great that you believe in people, but it's bad when you believe in people who are bad people, even though they're talented. But the good people who are talented, you just lead them to the wayside. That's just some bullshit to me, right? Now, on the flip side of that could break a person's heart. On the flip side of that, redemption. Because sometimes there's a population of black folks who didn't get any help, even though they earned it and deserved it. And there's a population of black folks who were screw ups. But the people who didn't get any help will not probably let the screw ups redeem themselves. So if you got locked up or made some bad choices, we're going to be like, you did that, you scarred for life. Why? It's because you're dealing with people who didn't get the same opportunities as you in the same community. Dante Topaz, what's going on? Jonathan, what's going on? Yeah, yeah, I'm getting into some of that too. Like, sometimes, I've seen people blow their opportunities, and people just look at them as a loser for life. So you can never redeem yourself. And when people redeem themselves, it's kind of one of those situations where you could have did a multitude of dumb things 10 years ago, and for the last decade you've been on the right path doing the right thing, and guess what, people will never let you live it down. People will never let you live it down, and no matter what you do that's good, nobody's going to care. Everybody's going to be like, remember when you was doing this? I remember when you was like this. I remember when you did that. I remember got a family member who had who was wilding in his adulthood, and he got into the church and became a deacon. And every time the pastor would bring up something, he would bring it up from his past. And so much so, my grandmother was also a member of the church. Appreciate you, fam. Heavy hitter, what's going on? Uh, my grandmother was a member of the church. So, imagine your mother sitting there looking at your son being made a fool of. You know, man, damn. Wow, I didn't even know that, Eugene. That's some crazy. But imagine your mother watching you getting talked about like a dog, to the point she had to call one of my uncles, which is my great uncle. He had to roll up on the pastor and like, look, if you embarrass my nephew in front of this church one more time, I'm gonna shoot you. And my great uncle, he's dead, but he was dead serious. And my uncle to this day still likes church and likes the church atmosphere, but that breaks your heart because like, hey, you trying to do the right thing, and that not even pastor like, and if you don't want to be like him, hallelujah, you don't want to be like, that's cold blooded. Mahogany, what's going on? What the hell just happened? Anyway, somebody called me who normally could see that I'm on live. Ain't that some shit? Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, Jonathan. They don't support it when you do that. You know, so that's the problem. And I look at it like you do realize you low key pushing everybody away when you do stuff like that, and that's a problem, like a big problem. And people don't want to talk about that a lot of times because, truth be told, a lot of us just want to shit on other people, and that's a problem. Like that's a real problem. You don't want somebody to be a better person because you just want to shit on them. And when you're in that space, it's like, what are we talking about here? You know? Uh-oh. I can you can Yeah, that's crazy, Marzel. Me too, Mahogany. Damn. Okay, I need to stop that. I need to stop that. But that's a problem. It's hard to redeem yourself, so that could break your heart. Now, on the flip side of that, um, excellence. There are a lot of people in our community who are excellent people. They're they worked hard. They could come from a good family or not so good family, but they can turn a negative situation into a positive. They could be smart. They could just be strong willed. Um, they can be they can be athletic or whatever. They could be talented artists or doctors or whatever. God's word, what's popping? Devin, what's going on? They could be all of these things, and they could be excellent, excellent. But for some odd reason, we'll make fun of them for being excellent. You smart, so they make fun of people like that. People think if you're an athlete, people like you. That's not really the case all the time. If you're really good, some people want to see you win to represent where you're from, but the vast majority of people who feel like they're not gonna excel and get to the places that you can possibly get to, they're gonna hate, and they may try to hurt you. You know, you know, and and I've seen that plenty of times where guys start fights with guys, pull guns out on guys, you know, like openly try to punk a guy in public because they know this person has a future. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to embarrass you in front of everybody so I can basically throw dirt on your name, and hope that you retaliate so I can do something to you or get somebody to do something to you. That's a problem. Like, because now you can't be excellent in the community because you feel like the community doesn't have your back. Now, I will say, what up, Leo? I will say, there are people who have your back in that. Like if people know you're just trying to do the best you can, some people be like, hey, chill out. Stop messing with them people. Stop, because you pushing it. And I think that does exist, but I also think, so many people sabotage excellent people. Like I was watching that story on Trent Richardson, and people think Trent Richardson was a bust in the NFL because he couldn't read plays. But truth be told, he trusted his family, and his family kept stealing his money. Just blowing through money, just blowing through money, just blowing through money. You can't practice when your family's out there just blowing through your money. You can't go to focus on the game when your family just out there blowing through your money. And all they could do was cry about it. Now that he didn't have a, now that he got knocked, he got hurt and was knocked out of the league. You know, it didn't make sense. No, I mean, I know you quoting Jay Z, fam, but I mean, I like him as a rapper, but he does some suspect stuff. I know him as a rapper from Reasonable Doubt and Volume One. You know, and the song "You Must Love Me" was very telling over the next 20 years. When you rap about selling your mama crack, shooting your brother over some clothes and jewelry, and putting a girl on a plane with coke, and then coming from Reasonable Doubt, it's kind of like, okay, we know what you regret, but from Volume Two on, basically saying that you enjoyed being a drug dealer and big up to being a drug dealer. That means you were happy about giving your mama crack, really. Happy about shooting your brother and happy about putting that girl on the plane. You know. But, you know, I I, I get it. I get it. It's just, hindsight is always 2020. But even with that, the excellence part hurts the community because sometimes um, people that we like, we'll throw them under the bus because they're excellent, but we don't like them. They could be good people, we just don't like them. And somebody could be excellent and we like them and we support them. And you lose allies like that. Hold up, Janae. You think that being a boss comes with decisions that you got to live with long term. Well, here's the thing, though. And I'm glad you said that to a degree. Um, yeah, kind of like with Candace Owens. She could say something real, even though she's questionable. But you don't like her, so you're not gonna listen to her. But that's the thing about what you're talking about right now is being a boss. What is this assumption that being a boss has this connotation to it that you can be unscrupulous or you can be unethical or immoral because you're in a position what you feel of power. So that means you can do this, that, and the third. You're not really a boss if you can't do right by people. You know, and that's the thing. Like people look like somebody being a boss is somebody who can make money and make moves. But if you can't do right by people, you're not a boss because people got to work for you. What we look at as a boss nowadays is um, when Four Brothers came out. What was the movie that the African dude played from Detroit? That the one that they threw him. At the end of the movie, they threw him in a lake. That's what we look at a boss as now. Somebody who got more money than you and wants to embarrass you and use you up everywhere you go. That's not really a boss. You know. Well, that's the thing. You don't use power. You don't use power as a boss. You see, when we talk about bosses, we talk about people who lack responsibility. They want all the praise, but lack responsibility. A boss is not a person who's going to sit there and want the praise. A boss is going to be the most responsible person in the room. A boss is going to be the person that takes all the slings and the arrows. It's going to, if it works out, the boss is going to be like, yeah, plan worked out. Congratulations to all y'all. Y'all did y'all job. But at the same time, the boss is going to be, if the plan don't work out, it's my fault. That's what a boss does. It's my fault. That's on me. Even if it's successful, what y'all did made it work. If it fails, it's on me. Because a boss knows this for sure. To have people to have your back, they gotta know that you're willing to put it on the line for all of them. You know, but this is part of even part of the title because we got responsibility messed up in our community. We got reliability messed up in our community. You know, but because think about it when I think about um, the stories of people not being reliable, that breaks people's hearts in the community. Like, damn, dog. Like, I really, and we've all had the stories of having people's back and looking out for people and doing right by people, and they were unreliable. When it was time to do right by you, they dipped. You know, and then it ain't. Sometimes it ain't just the fact that they dipped. It's the fact that some people was laughing and thought it was cool that they dipped. Or when you do right by somebody and you're reliable and when they need you, you're there. But when you're helping them, they're smug, kind of like K. Michelle is with this surrogate. Like you need a person's help, but you like I don't really like you like that. That type of thing. Wait a minute, what's popping? And that becomes an issue. And like I said, is it okay? Is it okay to do that type of stuff to people because you're gonna quote unquote break their heart? You know what I'm saying? I saw part of that, Wallace. I saw part of that. And personally, when I just look at it, I'm like, personally, she just doesn't. She's not a. She just doesn't want to admit that she's not a good person. It's always everybody else. It's never her. I mean, and even though part of the reason I'm making this live is because of her, because sometimes you get done wrong, but and it can make you cold. But with her, you know, she's one of those type. She looks seems as one of those type of people who she could do whatever she wants to you. She could cuss you out. She could lie on you, steal from you, shoot you, stab you, and there's gonna always be an excuse why. She never take responsibility for her actions. Thus, she's always gonna be the victim. But nobody ever is gonna see her as a victim because she's so many places doing so much, so many trifling things to people. It's ridiculous. But that's just my opinion. Because obviously she was always the good one in all her relationships, which I find highly doubtful. And the reason I say that is because if you notice, two things. She really never really talks about what she's done to other people. That's what I noticed first. And second, she's always complaining about women coming to her crying. Anybody who's a music fan knows this. Your fans are going to come up to you enamored with the music that you make. The music that she makes is for chicks that got cheated on and used and played and men are dogs and he was beating this thing up because it's either about sex or I hate men, as Sub-Zero would say. That's what her music is about. I hate men or sex. I don't understand the problem. Of course you're gonna have people coming to you crying with their hearts out. It was crying with Mary J. Blige years ago. Exactly. I mean, so what is the problem? What's up, Aunt Parker? Like that's just stupid to me. But let me get back to this a little bit. People are unreliable, and I think part of the community, damn, that's that we got to take into consideration is inheritance. It can break your heart when you're supposed to inherit things and people in families steal them. People in families mismanage the inheritance. People in the families mismanage the business that might be passed down. People in the family sell off the property. Sell off the heirlooms, all for stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it'll make you look at family differently. And you're like, damn, like this ain't what it's about, yo. Like we supposed to be a family here, and people are supposed to inherit things, and you out here stealing the shit. You know, people fighting over everything, but to the point where nobody gets anything. That'll break your heart. Like the house you grew up in, people fought over it, or people got it and didn't pay taxes on it, and then let it go. So all the memories that you had as a child are just gone up in smoke. You know, that's a problem. And I'm gonna go into the next one real quick because the next two I'm gonna get out of here. Is it okay, for the black community to break your heart because everybody wants help? And why I brought up all this other stuff earlier is because the people who can sabotage your opportunities want your help. The people who never let you redeem yourself want your help. The people who make fun of you for being excellent want your help. The people who treat you bad want your help. The people who are unreliable want your help. The people who, did you wrong but want you to forgive them because they went to church and you're supposed to be a Christian or a Muslim, they want your help. The people who mismanage the inheritance want your help. So that'll break your heart like, damn, let me get this right. Y'all get to do all this terrible, this trifling shit, but at the end of the day, you want help. And, I remember God, that phrase, God bless the child who's got his own. And, God helps people who help themselves. And God either helps babies and fools, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, some of us look at people in the community like, damn, like, how do you need all this help when you were so active in making sure other people weren't successful? That's just karma. Like, just live with your karma. Yeah, I feel you, Eugene. Been down that road. You know, been down that road. And but everybody wants help. Everybody needs help. And then we're talking as everybody needs help. Black people need to stick together. And it's like we do. But have y'all burnt so many bridges and broken so many people's hearts that they can't trust you to help you? They just can't. You know, what winds up happening? Internet set us back to I feel you. Royce, what's popping? And thus, I'm gonna say this because, and I'm gonna get out of here, it's family and friends. Like, a lot of our pain normally comes from our family and friends, not strangers. A lot of our hang-ups come from family and friends, not strangers. A lot of our things that people need quote-unquote therapy from comes from family and friends, not strangers. The girls who got touched as a child, that happened in the family. You know what I'm saying? The guys who were in the streets because they were trying to keep the lights on, even though they was teenagers. That's for the family. What's going on, sister? You know, that was the family. When people wanted you to do these things for them, but then they were gone against you, that was the family. And the friends. The people that wanted you to look out for them because their family was crazy or, dysfunctional, and they came to stay with you or live with you or this, that, and the third, but you repaid them by just completely burning them. And so many people think they could just come back. And I see this all over and over again where people keep doing people dirty and just swearing that they could come back. Oh, I'm going to come back. Oh, I'm going to come. You know what? Next time is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? We family, so we got to stick it together. Like a lot of times, and I'm old enough to tell y'all, like, there's certain people I'm just not gonna fuck with, family or friend. It's just like, I can still love you and have love for you. It's like, you did too much. You could have changed, and I can see some people change. I know some people who very much so changed. And it's like, you know what? Even though you changed, it'll never be the same. And I don't even want to try to make it waste the time to make it something new. I just find somebody else. Yeah, I'm leaving them out of it, Aunt. Exactly. You could love them but keep them at a distance. And a lot of times we don't even think about that where, you know, it's one of those situations where can the black community, is it okay? Because a lot of times we 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 say it's okay, like when it's not okay. It's not okay to do these things to your brothers and sisters. It's really not. But to say these things are okay and get over it, and oh, now you got money, we all should celebrate, and you know oh, I sabotaged you, but give me a hug. Like that shit ain't cool, man. You know what I mean? I ain't even talking about blood all the time, no, man. But you know, I want this brother to be successful because they remind me of myself. This brother doesn't remind me of myself, so I'm gonna throw him under the bus. But you know what? God gonna look out for him. That shit is not cool. That shit is not cool. You know, and this becomes a problem because there are a lot of people who are not broken and they're not broke, but it's just the people could broke their heart and they're like, I'm done. I'm done. And a lot of people got a hard time dealing with that because a lot of people do not want to accept the fact that you went out here and you did somebody dirty. This is why I talked about religion to a degree because we talk about forgiveness but not atonement. A lot of people want forgiveness, but a lot of people don't want to fix what they messed up. And part of the thing is, and I'll say this, I really think it's a big issue where people who do right by people, because like when they say, they have this code like no snitching, be a stand up person, A1 and all that other stuff. If a person is a stand up person and they do right by people, and you do something to them and they retaliate, that code goes out the window. You gonna snitch on them. You gonna tell on them. You gonna make sure everybody in the world know. Oh, and guess you won't believe who did what. Oh my God, they did that. I thought they was better than that. But if you cross a person and they respond, that's normal. But if you're dealing with a person who is a screw up and has been a screw up for years, then we're gonna keep that between us. You know what I'm saying? Just hey, chill out, chill out. We ain't gonna tell nobody. I know you should have done that. Who saw you? Did nobody see you? You sure? We good. Don't want to tell nobody. Somebody always saw you. You know what I'm saying? So when people do people wrong, you ain't saying nothing. But when wrong people do people wrong, you don't say anything. But when the right people retaliate to being done wrong, all of a sudden you fucking TMZ. You know, that's some bullshit. And that breaks people's heart because it's like, okay, what it is you like dirt, and that's just can't rock with that. You know, Kids are learning that their parents don't love them because of child support, or parents didn't pay child support, or you know kids growing up like, wait a minute, because part of what I mean is this: kids grow up to be adults and become parents and start realizing how good or bad their parents was, how responsible or irresponsible their parents was, how functional or dysfunctional that their family was. And then you realize how easy it is to fix it or how difficult it is to fix it. And when it's an easy fix, you're gonna be like, man, y'all just chose to do this bullshit. when it's a hard fix, you can be understanding. Like, I see why we was having these ups and downs, because this ain't really easy to fix. But a lot of times when we tell people, get over that shit. Everybody grew up in the hood. Everybody had problems. Everybody got issues. Well, here's the thing: everybody don't have the same issues, and this is part of the reason why I'm saying that, because sometimes we got people who had a laundry list of real issues that don't get addressed, versus people who are loud but went through a very small amount of things, but they both in the hood. They both in the hood. Gerard, what's popping? They both there. They both in the hood. This person got like a long list of things that's really going on. And this person got that much. Thanks, T Miles, man. And that's a problem, because what winds up happening is what? At the end of the day, you start seeing this stuff where, and I'm glad people brought up K Michelle earlier. K Michelle don't look like a person who's actually had issues in her family and life that were outside of her control. She's a person that looks like she has issues because she creates problems everywhere. But there are people in Memphis where she grew up that actually grew up with issues, you know, and that's two different things. And to see and to see people gravitating to her and caring about her, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. That'll break a person's heart, because it's like, damn, this is what y'all doing? This is what y'all fucking with? You know. But that's just my thoughts. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all for man. Don't you start, smoke. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Um, I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna be off like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 'Cause I was supposed to go to New Orleans, but I did. Uh, so I'm gonna catch up with y'all, and the next time I ain't gonna be messed up. So peace and thank y'all. We out. Uh oh.